on the troll.
Hello and welcome back to Mzansi. We're back again. It is that time of recording, I guess, this time.
Yeah.
Because we are here to talk about stories, but some of these stories, maybe you might have heard them, but the most important thing is that we need to deliver them the way they are and even give you more. That is what is important, because in this channel, we summarize it for you instead of you going around and looking for things that some you might not even find. But we are here. We've got Emily here working day and night and trying to combine these stories and the team. Emily and the team. Yes, it would be nice to actually have that, Emily.
It would be, hey, Emily and the team, researchers. We talk all day.
Where you have a small office.
Yes,
right.
we gather the information.
And now
before we
people don't want to
present
work
it.
for free.
No, people don't want to work for free, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, Emily, what you have for us in store?
Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another video. This time around, it's an upload, and because of the language.
Yeah, it's got a strong,
The language is very strong. So guys, yes, we're gonna navigate our way through Thabo Beste's shenanigans. Okay, there's a story that came out a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to cover it, but unfortunately we could not because we were busy with the trial, right?
Yes.
Thabo Beste was a mastermind of a syndicate inside the prison, the Mangaung prison, allegedly. Okay,
That is, we're back to that name that I cannot pronounce. Thabo Beste.
Thabo Beste.
I'll say Thabo.
Hawu Nkosi yami.
Let's go.
Ama-shenanigans kaThabo maningi, you guys. Ngithi eza kaThabo Beste azipheli, and they are far from over. We have another zgaqa. And as this trial is getting, it almost started yesterday, but already there were predictions that it was not going to quite proceed or really go on because earlier there was an announcement that Zanda Moyo's legal representation had abandoned him and they resigned or withdrew from representing him. So it's a lot going on. I don't know if you guys want us to unpack the court appearance as well, because I had prepared
No, we're
something.
gonna have to unpack it. I don't know here.
Because funny things were happening. We can even do it live, the court appearance, because it's not strong language based.
Okay, right.
Yeah, we can do it live. So, guys, we have another scatter coming from Thabo Beste. It was a long, elaborate unpacking of all the things that he was involved in. So, it is. We are moving at scatter per second now. Okay, it's a lot. So Besta was initially convicted of murder and 2 counts of forcing himself on 2 women after luring them way back in the day, in 2010, 2011, on Facebook. So that's what he went to prison for. And before the prison break, he was serving a life sentence when he escaped from Mangaung Maximum Security Prison in 2022 by setting a single cell he asked to be moved into that night alight. And the body of Katlego Bereng in there. So the body of Katlego Bereng was found in his cell, and for a long time it was believed that Besta had set himself alight. Turns out he burned poor Katlego Bereng's corpse in that cell. And officials announced that Besta's death at the time, but he was later spotted living a life of luxury in Sandton by the cameras at Woolworths, and was eventually recaptured. So after an autopsy was done, it was found to be the body of a young man called Katlego Bereng, and investigations into his escape unearthed several other shocking practices at the prison during his time there. So he was a hustler. He was hustling in the prison, mafia style. Okay? Reports revealed that convicted Thabo Beste owned a mahosha prosti business and illegal substance business at Mangaung Correctional Facility. It is a whole syndicate that he was running. He was the boss.
Yeah.
He ran the prisoners. He also ran the officials of G4S that were working at Mangaung Correctional Facility.
That's what is alleged.
It's alleged. So several female prison guards were part of a prosti ring run by a powerful syndicate of inmates and guards, including Thabo Beste. So these female prison guards sold themselves for bedroom activities or services for prices between 1,000 rands and 1,500 rands, which Besta was alleged to have made use of as well. Perhaps this could be the reason why Dr. Nandipa snubbed him in court yesterday. Maybe she thought that she was the only one who was servicing him in bedroom activities. Turns out he was also serviced by these female guards who were moonlighting as prosties.
No, look, I'm not buying a thing of snapping.
Do you think you're not buying it?
I'm not even going to call it a snap.
You're snubbing her.
I think that someone is paving her way for inevitable exit. So I don't think that was just a snap.
Do you think it's an act?
No, I think she's just plotting something behind the scenes. That's my thinking.
Do you think she has a problem with him doing bedroom activities with other women?
No.
Or she doesn't?
No. I don't think she did not know much about this guy. In my own opinion, I don't think so. I think she knew. I mean, money is capable of making you maybe do certain things. So I'm not going to be blinded by what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. In my own opinion, she was aware what Thabo was. There was no hidden agendas there. There are things that makes me say that the manner in which she elevated from public work to
private
practice. And we know, we have heard stories about doctors opening their private practice, more so focusing on women. So I that's my opinion. My opinion,
her business
there's too much coincidence.
Very much woman orientated.
Yes.
I mean, the way she chose the specific field that she went to, skincare and facials and all of that, aesthetic and beauty type of business, that in itself was to say, I want a business where my clients are going to be mostly women.
Women. Do you understand? Empowering women. That's where I have a problem. There's too much coincidence that you're dating someone who's in prison and you're working with women.
Not only in prison, but convicted to crimes against women.
Yes. So they just by that, in my own opinion, she knew what she was getting into. I think money was enough. That's my thinking, and that's my own opinion.
All right. So Besta appeared to be enjoying a senior position in the syndicate and is said to have made use of services of in-house, prosties. They are saying that Besta also assisted himself with some of these female guards, and the DCS, the Department of Correctional Services, has compiled a report of the investigations they have done surrounding Thabo Besta's prison break, or what I would like to call a prison running out assisted by G4S guards. Allegedly. But then it's not really a prison break, because a prison break is the prisoners really getting out, running out themselves.
Without the
assistance of guards.
Yes.
So it's murky waters. I don't know exactly how to put it. So this DCS report has names of female guards who moonlighted as ladies of the night. There is a mixture of male and female guards at Mangaung Correctional Facility. And by the way, Mr. Anonymous, it has never really made sense to me why male prisoners needed to be guarded by female prison warders. I don't understand that.
It's what we call, what's gender equality?
Yo, guys.
Right. To me, it does not make sense.
It's a
obviously.
danger zone.
It's a dangerous place, but if you argue that point as a man, then they would tell you you're looking down on women. So they had to be there.
Do you know how manipulative people who are in prison are?
Yes, I know.
And especially to women. They know the right things to say. They have the whole day to plot on how they're going to convince you to do something. They can do it over the phone. There are women who've fallen victims to this, where they've had to literally give their whole salaries. Their children are starving at home. They have husbands, and they leave their husbands and their children, and they give their whole salary to a prison inmate. That's the psychology behind dealing with a prisoner. And you're telling me that women can guard prisoners, male prisoners.
Oh, if you put it that way, people are gonna say you think women are weak in terms of thinking.
It's not per se weak. It's just the nature of things. It's the nature of
Yes, you
things.
have a right to say that you are a woman. But all I'm saying is that if I was to say that, then I would be looked at as a person who looked down on women.
Yes, better I
So,
say it.
Yes.
Yes, it's
So
better
I-
I
that's
say
why
it. It's a danger zone, okay? As a woman and you're a prisoner, you can be easily persuaded to do certain things. And I've never understood this concept in my entire life. I wish female would be guarding female prisoners. You understand? It ends there. This whole thing of crossing over, and look at what's happening at Mangaung. It's a
Yes.
disaster.
Yes.
And I'm sure it happens with other prisons as well. Remember, there was a video circulating of a prisoner who was doing bedroom activities with a female warder some years back. So these things happen. You know, I've never understood it, but it's a disaster. It's a disastrous combination, in my opinion. So allegedly, these female guards who moonlighted as ladies of the night were receiving 1,000 rands to 1,500 rands. And you can only imagine how much share the bosses of this syndicate would take. Does it mean that they would take a portion out of this 1,000 in 1,500 rands? Or they were paid separately and they would give the ladies 1,000, 1,500 rands?
There are two ways to this, but in any case, I think probably it was more than that, or it was less than that. It was.
Was it for one round or what? You know, it's.
The life in prison is expensive if you are into it. So I would think it was mainly maybe for one round.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that went in between these people.
Yeah, as we discuss further, we're going to end up saying words that we're not supposed to say. But
Okay, and G4S officials as well. The G4S officials also are implicated in the syndicate. They are also participants in this whole syndicate. Participants is in how?
So who's investigating this now?
The Department of Correctional Services, the DCS.
So last time we were scrapping and fighting for G4S to be released, but we still have them, right? They're still part of the...
They are fighting G4S. I know it's silent and it doesn't look like it, but they are fighting the correctional services. They don't want to let go of this contract, which is why now DCS has embarked on this investigation to show how incompetent they are, because they are going to court. They are going to court to have this contract terminated by 2026, which G4S is not willing to let go of. And there are other things that G4S is doing in the background.
It's very nice that they are still projecting to terminate it in 2026, not now, with immediate effect. That's what has been baffling my mind.
It's a contract. It's not yet finished.
Yes, it's a contract, but it has rules. You break the rules, you get punished. That's what I know about the contract. You have a contract with work that you do work as.
Right.
You breach that contract, you get fired.
You get fired.
Depending on the severity of what you did, it could be immediate effect, warning, certain procedures must be followed. But if it's something very drastic, you are immediately fired. And in this case, I would like to believe that what happened in that jail, in that prison, is way bigger for it to actually stay like this and be on moving on waters, trying to swim. In this case, it shouldn't be the case. It should be that at least we have suspended you without pay, pending the investigation. Then you'll be reinstated, and then if found not guilty, then the funds will be back paid. Obviously, it's all about money.
It is. Kaching. And it's a lot. Remember, they were reading the figures of how much they are getting every month.
The estimations.
30 million or something every month. And I was like, yo. Well, there was also a boy-wife movement to organize bedroom activities between prisoners. Now, this is when a male plays the role of a female. That was also happening. So
basically, you are entering into the terrain of prison itself now, where things like this do happen. But in this case, it was handsomely paid for.
Commercialized. It was a business entity.
So that means you must overrule the people that think they own the prisons, the numbers and whatnot.
Yes.
Unless also you are a number yourself.
Apparently at Mangaung there were no numbers. I don't know. Maybe I may be corrected.
But the operations that are moving there are seemingly following those ones of numbers.
But the most dangerous criminals are there. So apparently, allegedly, from what I heard, it's not a number system. I don't know, but you guys can correct me, right? So this is when a male, okay, I've already covered that part. I would not like to repeat it. The department reported 4 female guards who moonlighted as ladies of the night in G4S at Mangaung prison have confirmed the existence of this prosty ring to the Sunday Times, and they've also given them supporting evidence. So Sunday Times is sitting with that evidence right now as you speak.
Is it?
So Thabo Beste appeared to be a senior figure in this elaborate prison syndicate that allegedly ran an illegal substances dealing business, money laundering, and a mahosha operation behind bars, with claims that those who raised questions or suspicions were poisoned. So if you were an inmate and managed to see all of these shenanigans happening and you snitch, you would have been poisoned. Maybe you'd have your last supper and never wake up, allegedly. So this explosive leaked document revealed that an investigation at the prison weeks after Besta was recaptured also uncovered claims of a poisoning campaign to take out offenders who allegedly saw things leading up to the Besta escape. So from what I've been doing research, it turns out that the DCS started doing investigations at Mangaung Correctional Facility immediately after Besta and Nandipa were recaptured there at Tanzania.
Yes.
They started going in. I remember we even covered a story that was covered in the media about Dr. Nandipa singing, allegedly. Do you remember that? That she had begun to sing, and a lot of people were like, it's lies, and no way. But this investigation embarked from there on, and it led to them uncovering this syndicate that was operating Mangaung Correctional Facility. And it seems like that's also another way that Thabo Beste was making money, allegedly. So also, there's also this claims of this poison syndicate. Now, this poison syndicate is part of the reason why we now have this leak. Apparently, some of the people that would be sent to go and perform these things were
turned their back.
they went to the media, they went to the guards, they reported. Some of them refused to do these hits, and they would end up
needing protection and needing ammunition.
Yes, and then they would speak out that
Yes.
this is what's happening. That's part of the reason they even found out about this whole syndicate.
Okay.
So a lot was happening at Mangaung, and in details how the syndicate, believed to include a senior prison manager, controlled the flow of illicit substances into the prison, ordered hits on inmates it feared would expose its members, and allegedly ran a money laundering scheme. So
Yes.
there was even a plot to poison Besta's former cellmate. The document allegedly also dug up a poisoning campaign to take out offenders who allegedly saw things up to and leading to the Besta escape, and a plot to allegedly poison Besta's former cellmate, Zwelinzima Ngcuku, after he shared his suspicions that the conman may not be dead.
Is this the one who was on Twitter?
I think so.
Yeah, it screams.
But the account now is gone.
It's gone. Obviously, it has to be gone.
I think so. I think
Obviously, it has to be gone. So, obviously, we're speculating and we are making our own assumption. We don't know. We're just giving you a story the way it is.
And I have suspicions that it's the one who called to the podcast.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, the report also named 2 inmates who were instructed by G4S staff to administer poison to offenders. One of those inmates, who is now being held in the neighboring Grotvlei prison, spoke to the Sunday Times last year. Now, there is a prisoner. That prisoner, we just speculated with Mr. Anonymous right now who he could be.
Yeah.
He kept writing to the DCS, Department of Correctional Services, and the Deputy Minister of Correctional Services, as well as the judiciary, to inform them about the suspicious death of Thabo Beste. He strongly believed that he wasn't dead at the time.
Turns out he was right.
But his emails were allegedly ignored. I mean, we even covered the story here when it broke out in Mzansi Reality. His emails were allegedly ignored, and it became so bad that allegedly even G4S blocked the emails from going in and coming out to prevent any such
So
emails
G4S
being sent
was
by prisoners.
allegedly let known that there's a person who's communicating with us, the outsiders. Then they blocked the email.
They blocked the emailing system now. Emails couldn't go through, coming from the prison. So we talked about the story about a year ago.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So what they are telling me is that everything was in place here to protect Thabo Beste and this syndicate at all costs. This portrays him to be the kingpin of Mangaung prison, the boss, the owner of all systems that were in place for him to be highly protected. Even people would die just to protect the syndicate as well as his escape. That's the seriousness.
That notion that there's no number there, it's there.
It's there, ne?
It's there. The manner in which these people are moving, if what we are told here is anything but the truth, then there is number there.
It's certainly there.
Yeah.
So there's also the story of someone who tried to take out Zwelinzima Ngcuku, the former cellmate of Thabo Beste. And this person told the Sunday Times that they were approached to be an inkabi and take Zwelinzima out. And this is what they told the paper, and I quote, "I was approached by a G4S security manager in June 2022, a month after Beste's escape, who gave me a blue substance in a bag, okay? He told me to put it in the food of prisoner Zwelinzima Ngcuku, an inmate who was later removed from the prison. The department also confirmed such a report, but told the paper it could not investigate it further. So some aspects also relate to the Thabo Beste escape incident, which is now before the court and in respect of which investigations have not been closed. So this person was sent to take out Zwelinzi Mangaung. Because Zwelinzi Mangaung
failed. Still alive, right?
Yes, he's still alive.
So both of them are still alive.
Yes.
And
And he
they've got a
never
case in
made it
their
a
hand.
secret that I don't think he was even telling the guards. I don't think that scammer is dead, is what he called him, allegedly. Allegedly. That's what he referred him to as, that he's not passed on. Turns out he was
We are
right.
living in South Africa. People are creating their own country in South Africa. Like, South Africa looks like it's a country that has many small countries. It's a continent on its own.
Right? This is like a whole government in Mangaung.
They are not governed by anyone else.
No.
Because it still baffles me that this man had an account with the bank.
Yes.
And that's a system that is outside, that is supposed to govern our finances. And it has procedures and laws that are guiding it, how you can open this thing. In fact, if you don't pay your tax, they can even report you. How did you navigate that whole system?
How? I'm very curious myself. And worse, he didn't have an identity, but he still had a bank account that had huge amounts of millions.
Not unless that account belonged to someone who would not be questionable if they had certain amount of money. And that's a level of a politician for me, if you ask me. I'm just obviously thinking out loud here. I'm not saying that I know the name. I'm just thinking such things would have been allowed by certain people that have really powers, not just small powers. I'm not talking about young power. I'm talking about power that is very, like, huge.
Because even if you move like a huge chunk from your own bank account, your
They
bank
start
will
flagging
call
you. Yes, they flag you.
They flag you or they block your account. You have to go to the
A certain
bank.
threshold of
to
amount
explain.
comes to your account, they flag you.
They do. You
They
have
block
to
you.
explain.
They freeze your funds, and then you have to follow a certain procedure for the funds to be released.
Yes. So the departmental report also found that the illicit substances trade in the prison was largely controlled by a group of cash in transit kingpins. So now we have another element now. Cash in
Yes.
transit kingpins.
So there were people who would go outside and do, and there were substances. You tell me that Nandi, but I did not know that. The brother said, was it the brother who said that when Thabo was about to come out, Nandipa said, if he finds you here, he will eliminate you.
Yes.
Something like that. So
was
there
the
was
brother.
a bit of knowledge of who Thabo is and what is he capable of. You cannot just get or assume that knowledge from someone who's coming from prison, that they will do such things. I mean, unless you know that they are big.
I know when they say cash in transit kingpins, and I'm thinking of how rife they are in the country. Cash in transit heists. Yeah, it's a lot, you guys. They say the departmental report also found that the illicit substance trade in the prison was largely controlled by this group of cash in transit kingpins and other high profile and influential offenders. Now, when I hear high profile, I'm hearing very important people. I'm hearing high up people in the country. I'm hearing people who've got mullah. I'm hearing people who are untouchable when I hear high profile. And influential offenders, including Besta. So there's a section in Mangaung prison called Street 5. This is a section of the prison where the business generation flourished. Look at that description. The business generation flourished. That description in prison. Oh my God. Services offered by syndicates included illicit substances, cell phones, boy-wife movements, money laundering, and these prosty business between the female guards and the prisoners. So the report also highlights claims or observations of a trend in security breaches, including number 1, the CCTV blind spots in the courtyard. So they knew the
Where
blind
the
spots
cameras are.
of the CCTV cameras where they are not showing.
They that would
knew.
require someone who's in a CCTV room, someone who understands how it works. Can't
And where
just
the
get that
camera is
one, yes.
facing and how to pass by without it capturing you. And also a delayed motion detector that allowed contraband to be thrown over a fence into a prison unit. Number 3, unauthorized radios and laptops. Remember how it came out that he had a laptop?
He was
And
allegedly studying.
G4S told us that he was a student at Damlin or something like that. Number 4, shoddy lock-up procedures in which inmates entered their cells at their leisure. There were also talks of this by that Twitter account that he would move in freely in every cell he wanted. This is the allegation against Thabo Beste.
What is that
he would
moving
move.
freely? It only
He
makes
wasn't
sense. I mean,
exactly locked up.
it's free.
He was free to move around anytime he wanted. And number 5, inadequate supervision of prisoners with just one night shift guard, often expected to lock down an entire unit. Now, this is unreasonable. If you are a guard in there, guarding all these dangerous criminals, and you are alone, and you're supposed to lock all of them,
but
only one.
If you ask me, that could be used as a sign that because they know that there was power inside.
So the department has confirmed the existence of the report, but says it cannot investigate further, as some aspects also relate to the Thabo Beste escape incident, which is now before court, and in respect of which investigations have not been closed. I think we heard that with the court appearance, that investigations are still ongoing.
Yeah.
So the Sunday Times also spoke to Ngugu, Zwelinzima Ngugu, who agreed to go on the record. He said that he was Beste's cellmate for several months, and in the days after Beste's escape, Zwelinzima Ngugu told G4S guards that he didn't believe that Beste had unalived himself, not realizing that some guards had organized the prison break. So he was not aware that some of the guards were actually involved in this whole
It's only God's grace that is still alive.
And this was why he became the target of a planned hit about a month after the escape. Now, the inmate instructed to carry it out told the Sunday Times that the security manager, who is named in the report, also gave him African herbs with which he could cleanse himself after poisoning Ngugu. So he was prepared. They prepared him mentally and spiritually as well. They said to him, go give him this blue substance and then take this African herbs and cleanse yourself after you have taken his life, allegedly.
Ngugu was very strong. The ancestors of Ngugu were very strong.
The inmate refused to carry out the instruction. He said that he reported the incident to the controller, a Department of Correctional Services official stationed at the prison and tasked with legal oversight of the institution. The controller said he could see on CCTV footage that the security manager had given him something. So there was a controller who saw as this alleged guy who was
Transaction
sent.
happening.
Yes, he was looking over the camera and he could see that Ngugu was gonna be done, bad. and he stopped it. He was able to stop it from happening. So the controller asked the inmate to give him that poison so he could hand it to the police. And the inmate gave him the poison but retained some and took photographs of it, which he sent to the Sunday Times. He claims that on Friday or on February the 25th of last year, which is 2023, he spoke to Bloemfontein police station officers about the poisoning bit. Ngugu, who had been in Mangaung prison since it opened in 2001, claims it is not the first time that security manager tried to poison him. In 2020, he reported a poisoning attempt to Bloemspruit police station and was given a case number. Asked about the case this week, police national spokesperson Brigadier Athlenda Mate, she's been very busy this year. She's been very busy. But then this is what she had to say. She said that the matter is still under investigation. Investigators are working in close consultation with the National Prosecuting Authority. However, Ngugu says he was never again interviewed about his complaint and is unaware of any police investigation into it. He's talking about the first attempt to have him taken out in the very same prison.
Yeah.
He's saying he's unaware of any investigations that have been done, And in the leaked departmental report, it is noted that an inmate was instructed by G4S staff to administer poison to offenders who allegedly saw things up to and leading to the Besta escape. So no action has been taken against the security manager, despite eyewitnesses reporting his involvement to the police. The report contains further disconcerting information about the security manager. He would lead external persons who spoke what is considered a Bulgarian, Russian, Czech language into another section of the prison called Broadway Unit in the middle of the night.
So they didn't speak any South African language?
But there's a section in Mangaung where they do not speak South African languages. They speak Bulgarian language, Bulgarian and Russian Czech language.
How can we trust foreigners to hold, and I ask this question for a second time, such potent information about our country? Because, prison is part of, I would say, intelligence. You could say it falls under that tarry of saying that whatever that happens, the people you arrest there's your treasure, there's people who command a lot of knowledge about our country.
Oh, another leaked report seen by the Sunday Times alleges that the security managers has been coming in around 2 a.m. with visitors that appear to be a Bulgarian money laundering syndicate operating within Mangaung Correctional Facility or Center. No evidence or facts are presented to support this. The report about the department's intelligence gathering visit from May the 22nd to the 25th references a named G4S official who allegedly stored the smuggled corpse of Katleho Bereng in a freezer in the prison kitchen. The corpse was burned in the fire in Besta's cell in a bid to convince authorities that Besta had passed away in that blaze. This official has not featured in the police investigation into the Besta escape. All this time, we are being led to believe that it was Sinoha Matwara who carried the corpse and burned it. Allegedly. It's not him.
It was small fish in
the
a pond.
The one who did it is not even being investigated, allegedly. So G4S is contractually barred from speaking to the media and has referred all inquiries to the department. Now, referring to a leaked document compiled by the Department of Correctional Services, the paper said that Bester appeared to be pretty high up in the syndicate, which was believed to also include a senior prison manager. Okay? Bati nama prison wada bebezwa ngoThabo Bester. So literally, he was the one running Mangaung Correctional Facility.
While he was there to actually be rehabilitated.
So remember how we were also left flabbergasted when we heard that he had 917 million in a bank account, and we asked ourselves, how was it even possible? Well, it's not that strange that this is happening in the prison of South Africa, but yeah, I also remember South African media also trying to convince us that he made all of this money from forex trading. Seems that's not the case. Okay. It seems Thabo Bester is a lot more powerful than we all thought. And it seems these powerful people that he's connected with are definitely high up. He's untouchable, allegedly. Was. Now that he's caught, it's different, but was at some point. Which would explain why he had the audacity to go to Woolworths, knowing very well that he's convicted and was supposed to be inside the prison. The gall he had to go to Woolworths in Sandton. It was like a person who knew that I'm untouchable. The confidence was at another level. Allegedly. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you want me to go on? Should I go on?
No, I think let's give them a chance to digest this. Let us digest this.
There's still more. There's still more. But I'll pack it here, guys. We'll continue to be continued.
Yeah.
To be continued with these shenanigans of Mangaung Correctional Facility. There are a lot. So we'll see each other in the next one, guys. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want me to continue with the Thabo Bester series.
It's a bye from me. Let's see the reaction, and we will continue on the basis of the reaction.
All right.
So pack it for now. You guys will tell us if you want more. Yes. Please like the video, guys. It's important. Like the video. Thank you very much.